Welcome to DailyForex. Today, we're going to be talking about moving your stop loss to break even. So let's just jump straight in. One of the most common and expensive mistakes made by traders is moving the stop loss on a trade to break even too quickly. It is psychologically attractive to move a stop loss to break even in order to enjoy the feeling of removing risk. But it is usually not a smart thing to do because it tends to result in being kicked out of a potentially profitable trade too early. Stop losses should only be moved either after a defined period of time has elapsed or after the trade has moved in the trader's favour by a relatively large amount. So that's compared to the risk of the trade. Other methods of judgment do tend to produce poor results. The question of whether you should move a stop, and if so, when you should move it, really depends upon your trading style, i.e. your tolerance for losses and your profit targets. There's a good argument for never moving a stop loss to break even. After all, if you test the profitability of a good trading strategy with clearly defined rules, moving stops will rarely make a great deal of difference to overall profitability. If you treat the question of when to move a stop as an art rather than science, you need to be a very good trader to get good results with it. Most new traders are probably better off avoiding moving stops at all, except for example, where trade is, say already 3/4 of the way to its profit target. If you've entered a trade and it has moved in your favour, all's going well. Remember that when you move your stop loss to break even, you are potentially limiting the upside as well as limiting the risk. In fact, moving the stop is, in a very real sense, statistically, the same as taking profit. Why take profit early if you have faith in your trade entry? All you're doing is inviting the regular and normal volatility of market to remove you from your position. And if you don't have a position, how are you going to make any money? If you look at all your trade entries, or a lot of entries generated by strategy, you will find that in most cases the price comes back to the entry level, even after a relatively considerable period of time has elapsed. Even when a technical development has occurred that indicates the price is not going to come back there, for example, carving out a higher swing low or a lower swing high, it is likely to return and hit your newly breaking even stop loss. One approach that can work is wait for a defined length of time, one that should have given your trade enough time to realistically breathe. Once this time has elapsed, if your trade is showing a loss, exit immediately. If a profit, move the stop loss to break even. You could apply the maxim, don't let a winner turn into a loser, by moving the stop to break even once it has performed well enough to be out of the orbit of the entry level. You'll probably be best served by waiting for the trade to be in profit by at least 3 times the amount of the stop loss before doing this. This can work, but should also not be applied until the trade is in profit by at least 3 times the stop loss. And the size of the trail should be based upon volatility. A very common approach, which usually involves waiting for any of the following to occur. 1. A failed retest of the entry point. 2. A significant higher high or a lower low that confirms the entry. 3. A successful breakout in the direction of the trade. 4. a failed breakout against the direction of the trade. These can work sometimes, but will not usually work often enough, especially in intraday trading. Here, the stop loss is moved to break even after some fixed amount of floating profit has been achieved. This is a bad idea, except where the price is much closer to the take profit point than the entry point. Moving a stop loss to break even is the same as taking profit. If it is too early to take profit, there is no point in moving a stop loss to break even, except in the cases of a very skilled trader. It's hard to be profitable if you're aiming for an average reward to risk ratio that is less than 3 to 1. So, it is probably a bad idea to be moving a stop loss to break even any sooner than that. Every currency pair or cross has an average daily range of volatility. If your stop loss level is within half of that amount, it will probably hit within the next day or two. Consider whether that gives it enough time to reach the kind of profit target you're looking for. Do not be in any hurry to adjust the stop loss. So thank you very much for watching the video on moving your stop loss to break even. Make sure you do download the DailyForex app for all the latest market updates and educational videos. Thank you very much.